nice.
But we're skipping that today.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, we can maybe like talk about tunes we're listening to, and like
We can definitely discuss that.
pull up some tunes.
We are live and direct. We are live and direct from Agency, Colab, the Boxhot.fm pop-up. It's Wednesday, and we have 1 hour conversation with Nihar and Shatrunjay. Artist names, I'll let them do the introduction. Tell us your name and your artist name, what city you represent.
Check. Hey, I am Monophonik, aka Shatrunjay, based out of New Delhi, and yeah, I'm just like here with my buddies.
Well,
Traffic, aka Guru Grinch, aka Turf the Word.
hey, Turf the word.
Delhi boy myself. Been chatting long time homies all the way back to high school.
Is the mic on?
I think so. Hello. So did they miss everything? Gotta do that long AK again.
Go ahead and tell us.
Traffic, aka Guru Grinch, aka Turf the Word. From
Turf
New
the
Delhi.
word. Turf the word. Let's
That's
start
right.
there.
Yeah, let's
So
do
when
that.
you that was your Instagram handle for a
Yeah,
while.
dude. Turf the Word was this old nickname that I got in high school at some point. God knows how. And yeah, bro, it just stuck on for long, and I just ended up using it as a bunch of monikers when I was starting. Like, basically, back in the day, like the first thing I did before anything, straight out of college and post my insurance job, which is another story altogether. I went straight into like event management and I started hosting some pop-ups.
You went to
and stuff.
college in Delhi?
No, I went to college in Scotland, actually, in St.
Okay.
Andrews.
Okay. And you
Yeah.
came back in Delhi
Yeah, I came
as
back.
Turf the word,
Yeah.
the DJ.
No, I was still the word back in the day, all the way from high school. But yeah, I just
Okay.
ended up cruising with it.
So that was kind of like your hip hop DJ moniker in
Yeah,
a way.
basically. Yeah, I was a hip hop DJ basically back in the day.
What was your when you came back from college? You knew Shatrunjay already?
Yeah,
or-
yeah, we grew
Yeah,
up
we
together,
guys
man.
have
We went to the
been-
same high school before he went to Doon.
We've known each other since like fucking nursery or whatever.
Okay.
Which is the first like grade of high school here in India.
Nursery.
I mean, people don't know nursery.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
It's
school
you know
also.
what I mean?
Like, there's a bunch of
I have
different
to pull this a
terminology.
bit closer to myself.
So yeah, basically, Shatrunjay, you just came back from the UK.
I did, yes. I got
went
back
to
in
study there?
September. Yeah, I went to study there for a year. I was in Leeds.
Leeds.
Really sick city, man. Yeah, I spent like a year in Leeds. It was really cool. I was basically studying like interactive audio for gaming and stuff like that. And I've always been like super passionate about sound and like audio and just like technology and specific to like the audio
Sound,
spectrum and
Sonics.
stuff like that.
And you're a full-time
Um,
music producer, audio engineer, or how would you describe your
Yeah, like a full-time producer, a musician, composer, sound designer. I do a lot of commission projects for like commercial work for like sound design for TV, film, games. Now I'm getting into games. But
and
yeah,
yeah,
just
going
like
to kind of the UK that was in more towards that
it was,
like, the
yeah.
innovation with sound and gaming and
Basically just sort of like adding to my skill set, you know what I mean. It's important to sort of just keep pushing your level of skills, and like also increase my employability chances.
Get that money.
less DJ, more
Um,
service for hire or something.
yeah, basically, but like also sort of like figuring out a way to balance my lifestyle in a way where I can also sustain my life but still operate within
You
sound
live a
and
pretty wild
it's
lifestyle.
still- you know it, man. But yeah, just sort of like you know, trying to figure out my next moves and like, you know, how to take this forward.
2020, crazy year, yeah.
Crazy year, man.
You also put
weird,
out, you
weird times.
you put out an EP on Killer Records.
I did. That's right. Yes.
How was that?
Just a couple of months ago.
Tell
It was
us a little
actually-
bit.
It was actually really cool. Well, so while I was in Leeds, you know, lockdown happened, and which kind of sucked because I was really looking forward to like experiencing my last, like, because I was only there for a year, and I was like, well, 6 months of my year there, I have to like go through this whole pandemic bullshit. And
Were you
like,
planning to stay there or?
I was, yeah,
Okay.
I was. And I had to like basically sort of lock in for 6 months, and lockdown happened. So I went to like my friend's country house in the north of Wales, and like took all my sort of gear with me, and like wrote a lot of music like out in the countryside, like overlooking some like massive meadows with sheep
So the
grazing
song from
every
the
morning.
songs from that release is from that.
It's from my space in the north of Wales at that
It's
time.
definitely not countryside music.
It's not countryside, but you know what I mean. Like it's like the
That's-
vibes that I was feeling like in just like being in nature at that time. And I was like in the middle of the peak of the pandemic, and I was in this city called Mold in like the north of Wales, which had 0 cases of the virus, and it's kind of cool to just be isolated. So yeah, I wrote a bunch of music, and then came back to India, and I was like, well, I think I have some solid tunes like ready to put out there into the world. And it had been like really long since I actually had released music prior to this release, and like because it was just like, yeah, just I hadn't sort of put anything out for a while, and I was like, well, you know what, like I can't play shows. I can't really like go out party. Like I can't like gig anymore. So I might as well just like work on some music. And Killa was like always kind of keen to
Killa Records.
Killa
from New
Records.
Delhi.
Yeah. So Killa Records is a New Delhi based record label. They're doing some cool stuff. And they were really keen to sort of push their sonic boundaries, and they wanted to like explore like newer territories of like sound and like different genres, like stuff that they
Still
haven't
within
been
the electronic music.
still
and
within that like subculture, but like they wanted to sort of just like move out of the space that they were in prior to my release. And so yeah, like basically they were like really sort of pumped and like all very supportive, and that's kind of what like really got me to
excited to finish. and
yeah,
completely-
exactly. And I think I owe a lot to like Madhav. Shout out Madhav Kora, because he like pushed me a lot, and he's like, dude, let's do this. And honestly, if I didn't
He
have
was also
someone,
killing it.
yeah, like if I didn't have someone
Epic
on my like head all the time being like, these are your deadlines, like get your shit together, I swear like I would have not probably done it, because
Yeah.
I get a bit like
He's
complacent
the
when
worst with
when
deadlines.
but it
I'm
worked out.
surprised he showed up on time today, honestly.
yeah.
Nah, it had to be done. So yeah, so that happened, and then we put the music out, and it was really well received, and like got some really cool features. And in fact, Mo, like I was just sitting one day, and like Mo sent me a message saying, "Yo, like your song's been featured in one of these like newsletters that
One
Mo
of the
gets."
big first floor.
First floor, yeah.
Sean Reynolds.
Sean Reynolds. He's actually a writer for Pitchfork and like
He
Resident
writes for a
Advice.
lot of people, and since the lockdown, he started like kind of focusing more on his weekly newsletter.
Yeah,
This guy sends a detailed weekly newsletter,
exactly.
and it's one of the newsletters that I take inspiration from in trying to
Right.
write about music and see how he's so. And then I was
Interesting.
like, "Whoa, what?" And then I'm reading this week, and it says Monophonik and the
That's so
song,
sick.
and
Yeah, dude. Yo, his EP got a lot of support from all over, man.
so
And
I send it to
like,
you and Madhav, being like, "Yo, have you seen this?"
Honestly, like big up Mo, because I would have never ever like even found that article or like my mention in it, because I had no idea about that newsletter until you sent it to me, and I was like, "This is sick," and it was actually in a section in the article which says, "My wife has better taste in music
His
than
wife
I do,"
has great taste.
and he basically wrote like a big article about how his wife like sussed out this tune, and she like played it to him, and he's like, "Yo, this is sick. Let's write about it." So that was kind of cool. And like yeah, like now that sort of gigs have slowly started reopening here in India, I've been seeing a lot of Instagram stories of like DJs shelling out my songs at parties and stuff like stuff like that, which is kind of cool. But yeah, like so that was basically what.
And you guys
been up to.
wrote some music together.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Why did you send me this? Because I
Dude,
have it,
we've
and
been-
I'm like, when is this coming out?
We've been meaning to put that stuff out for so long.
Yeah, like
now,
we
man.
always
When did
writing.
you guys kind of start writing
It's-
together, or like get in the studio?
Well, the thing is, like,
Our musical taste kind of got shaped together almost to some extent. Like he was always into electronic music, of course, but then when we started going to raves together in India post college,
Yeah.
and then all this kind of stuff, our shape we were really influenced by the scene here to some extent. And I mean, definitely, I mean, the scene has always been there, but in the last 10 years, just the amount it's diversified, the amount the communities come together
Sure.
in ways that I don't feel like we're always there in Delhi per se. Box Out for sure has a huge part to play in that.
Shout out.
The
Box
thing
Out.
is,
Shut up, Box Out.
always shout out Box Out.
Yeah.
The thing with me and Hall is like every time we hang out, like we just want to like make sure, like and that could be film, like he makes
Yeah.
like and for me it's music or whatever. But it's just like for us, like literally hanging out is like sitting in the studio and like putting some sounds together, making some tunes.
One way or another.
And that's the thing, like we've always been sort of like working on music with no plan ever. It's just been like, yo, let's write a tune together. And
Let's
like
never release it.
and like yeah, and it's just like
No, soon.
sitting in the
Let's
libraries.
set a deadline on the air so we
But
have some
honestly,
pressure.
like he's to blame for all
He
Um,
kind of what you started a creative agency.
Yeah, I
How
mean,
long ago was
touch
that?
wood, dude. I mean, I started about 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
But yeah, this year, we're really taken off. I guess, like, this past 3 years of recognition is finally, coming out there and people are
Tell
hearing
us,
about me.
what is your focus? What do you guys do?
It's a creative marketing agency, design agency called Current, where we do everything from design to branding, identity to film editing, filmmaking to like the whole.
You guys
thing.
recently put out a music video? Or you guys
No,
were
actually, so yeah, I'd love to talk about that. Actually, my younger brothers, my real brother Sohail Kanwar, artist named Lil Littles,
Yeah.
and my cousin Zizi, Zifan Kanwar. They basically dropped an album together, a hip hop album recently. It is straight fire. Everyone needs to go listen to it. It's called
In
Super
English?
Villains.
In-
Yeah,
yeah.
English. It's called Super Villains. And
I briefly checked it out. I mean,
yeah, dude. I mean, after this sesh, we should definitely listen to some tunes together.
So
man.
you helped them make a music video?
Yeah, basically they released like a little album. It was kind of supposed to be a teaser for a couple of singles, but then just came out pretty dope. So they're like, let's just do like a full album trailer, like as if it's a movie.
Nice.
Yeah,
And you
and it
guys,
came out-
you did that for
Yeah,
them.
we filmed it, edited it, did all of that. But we done a lot of stuff. I did an edit for Shaddy's Macfield stuff recently also.
yeah, put together like a little edited like a little sort of promo teaser kind of video.
Of
Yeah.
your performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do basically
Yeah.
all of this. This is our little kid. Offer these services basically.
And during the lockdown, how have you been managing to do
Dude,
this? Like
At the start,
remotely or
yeah,
work from
remotely.
home?
I had to drop the office space because there was no point really. I was just paying rent month after month. And but I mean, at the end of the day, we're all designers. We're all constantly on the phones, on Zoom calls. We're figuring this stuff out together. And honestly, bro, touchwood, when Corona started, like everything kind of slowed down because everyone was like a little hitting the brakes, like whoa, we don't know what's going on,
Yeah,
what's going to be
yeah.
the future of things and everything. But a month or two in, it came like, I mean, it came back full swing, man. And I'm honestly doing better now than I ever was, even pre-Corona.
Amazing.
So yeah. So touchwood, things have been pretty all right for me. I know it's tough times and all, but
I guess
I'm
it's not
grateful,
like
basically.
necessarily like design, marketing, communication. You still need to have that for your brand, no
Yeah,
matter
yeah.
what lockdown it is,
Always.
if you want to keep that brand.
And I feel like a lot of people are trying to capitalize on the situation also to some extent, like
And how can you tell us? What do you mean by that?
man, I don't know, man. Lots of people have found opportunity, when everything else is going to the dogs, people find opportunity, man. Like people start branding things. Like for instance, I got hit up by a private jet chartering company recently. And because I guess like travel is screwed, but at the same time, I guess there's super rich people out there who want to spend, want to travel, so they feel more comfortable renting their own jets. So
Interesting.
yeah, so I mean, the people are people, man. They're gonna find stuff to do. They're gonna find opportunity,
Yeah, it's
even in
good
the
to see
darkest
people sort of
corners.
just adapt to the pandemic
yeah,
and
most
finding ways to
definitely, man.
move forward and sort of just get their shit together and figure out ways to stay active in these sort of weird times, but
For sure.
which is cool.
And it's grateful,
Um,
man. I'm grateful that there's still stuff going on for me, even in a time like this when I wouldn't expect it at all.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
It's awesome.
Nice. And what have been some of the highlights of the lockdown for you in the music world? What have you guys
So
been listening?
many.
I mean, it's been crazy, but maybe, yeah, tell us something What has
Yo,
been on your playlist recently? What kind of music have you been?
Well, that's an interesting question. To be fair, I really listen to a lot of like sets. I've been listening to a lot of like
Mixes?
mixes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a lot of NTS, a lot
Okay.
of like just shows on Mixcloud, like a lot of like soul, disco vibes.
Okay.
Sort of just kind of like
Stuff in the
stuff
background, or
in the
you're kind of
background,
seeking
stuff in the
label
foreground.
shows or specific
Um,
producers, trying to see where your music fits in, or it's more just kind of listening to music like in,
Yeah, well, I think it's a mix of both. Like because there's always times where I need music playing in the background, like just when I'm driving or when I'm in the shower, like just I need tunes playing all the time. But like um, I'm also like sort of writing a lot of music these days. And when I write music, I don't I don't really sort of like have a plan for it initially, and I don't really think that, hey, like this is the label that I really dig and I want my music to be on there. Like it's sort
you're
of
just
just
writing your
I'm just
music, what
writing
you're
music, and
currently
then when it's
feeling.
done, I'm like, okay, where can I have like place it, or where can I fit it in? And then that's when I actually start planning
Okay,
how I want to release it. Like if all of those music tunes like sort of fit in a package where like one label is down to like put it out, like I could do like an EP kind of thing, or if it's like a
sure.
few songs are fitting here or there, like I don't mind splitting it up and like have one label release a single. And like so like in January I have two songs coming out on a Leeds based record label
Nice.
called Real Long Overdub. It's run by these by this crew called Brudnell Groove. They're also based in Leeds. And I'm doing a radio residency with them as well for like a brand new Leeds based radio station called NAR Radio, and they
Okay.
just like launched. It's launched by these guys called Outlaws Yacht Club, which is a really sick venue.
So
Like
this venue launched the radio station.
they launched a radio station, and yeah, like just sort of kind of linked up with these guys, and they're doing like a really cool vinyl release that I'm super excited about.
Hey.
First time ever my tune's going to be out on wax, which is really cool.
It's a single or part of a.
Well, they're two singles.
Okay,
it's a
so
compilation.
Yeah, so it's on one is on a compilation and then a digital release, and then another one is on like a vinyl release. So sort of, yeah, just writing music, kind of staying creative, like I don't know, man, just like trying to stay sane and happy and like productive at the same time, and
it's okay to
like
be sad also. You don't have to
yeah,
be
yeah,
happy.
yeah.
If you're happy, then you're only
But
writing
you need
happy
to go
music.
through the sad moments to like come out, like figure it out, you know what I
Sure.
mean? But
I mean, it's,
um
yeah, like a lot of people always projecting that like high positivity levels throughout the lockdown,
no, I feel you.
but
Yeah,
it's also okay for
Yeah,
it
it's
not
okay.
to, like,
yeah, 100%.
so that's what kind of like drives a lot of the things in the condition of the situation.
Sure.
What about you?
No doubt.
I've been good, man. Like honestly, before COVID, like I was getting really stressed out with like work and music and a bunch of stuff. And I honestly like for me it was like honestly a gift from
No,
God to
what
some
you've been
extent. The
listening,
little
what have
break
you
I
been
got,
listening,
little
like
ease I
musically,
got.
what have you been listening
Musically, I've been
to?
listening to a lot of hip hop, but like on the EDM side, I've been listening to like D Tiffany, my favorite producer in the world, probably over the last couple of years. D Tiffany, I've been listening to Fantastic Man, all these guys, man. So much, like a lot of like garage and jungle stuff,
Okay.
man. Guys like Interplanetary Criminal, he's not necessarily. I would say like he's not always finessing his tunes, but the amount of tunes and bangers he just drops on a regular basis, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Just
Also
having a
Leeds
good
based
time, for me at
artist.
least.
Also,
So what?
also a Leeds based artist,
Yeah.
really sick guy,
Oh, the
man.
one he's talking
Yeah,
about.
Interplanetary Criminal,
For
like
me it's like all
sick
about
guy.
like even with Traffic, like the whole concept is not about like going out there and trying to necessarily put on some like pseudo intellectual set or anything. It's about having a good time, man. It's about just being one with the vibe, like creating this vibe, this aesthetic, and then just like enjoying, man, not thinking too much about it. So
You
that's
put
kind of
out some
music.
mixes. You've been doing your show regularly on
Yeah,
Box Out.
yeah. For the last 3 years now, almost.
In the last year, you've had some nice guest mixes coming too.
Yeah. I had some awesome,
I did
amazing
a few as
artists.
well.
Yeah. We always get a B2B whenever we're hanging out again. Like
This
you
guy,
said.
man. Okay, so here's the thing, Mo.
Don't do it.
Mo, let me tell you, bro. It's like this fucking guy,
Just
like
stressing a lot.
wakes up last minute and he's like stressing about his mix and he's like, "Yo, I gotta send this in tomorrow," and then he's like, "Yo,
Do not tell me
yeah."
about it.
and then he's like, "Can
We
you
have
come
a
and do it
list.
back to
We
back?"
have a folder where
So
we just take screenshots of new excuses,
yeah,
and
basically,
we're
and,
gonna
and,
release a
No,
coffee
man.
table book.
and I'm
Mine
Not
basically.
from you only.
Yeah.
From
I'm basically like his last minute like
choice.
but that's
You are
where-
soupy.
yeah, like last resort, like fucking
Ouch.
when there's no other option, like let's call this fucking guy.
No, man, come on, dude. That's what friends are for, man. If I'm busy, I'm gonna call up
You
a
have a,
No,
homie.
I'm
Like,
just
you
joking.
spot
you do
me,
a
man.
2-hour show, right?
Yeah, 2-hour show every month. First
Nice.
Friday of every month.
First Friday of every
First
month.
Friday every
Yeah,
month.
there's one tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
This Friday.
But there's no tomorrow on the Thursday because of an excuse that came.
We changed. Yeah, we changed up the schedule. Actually, the radio, all new shows are only happening Wednesday to Saturday,
Mhm.
and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday
No,
is
no.
playback of old episodes.
Mine's still on Friday. It's just that this month, like, there was an excuse.
Oh.
Probably in your folders.
Okay, yeah. No, I mean,
So that's
shout
why.
out to Mukul and Aisha on that
Hell
one.
yeah,
Hey.
man. Love Aisha. She's a sweetheart, man.
So yeah, I
But-
guess DJ mixes. And
Mixes, yeah. I did a lot of mixes. I did some for Crunk. I've got a few coming up. I want to do one for Q Radio. They've been releasing some awesome stuff.
how do you go about like making your mixes versus radio show? Because when you used to come to Box Out, you used to talk on those mixes,
For sure.
and
No.
I feel like that's
I definitely, my Russia show is completely different. Like, if you're going to catch me at a set or like playing someone else's, a mix for somebody else, the vibe is going to be totally different on a Russia episode. On Russia, again, I'm not looking to. Russia is like that one instance, I guess, where I'm thinking about it a little more. You know, when I like to play live and all, like I said, I just like to
you
go
don't
out.
like prepare your set song per song.
I do
or-
for Rush Hour.
No, for okay, yeah. So tell us about Rush Hour, then we'll
Yeah,
talk
so
about the
basically,
mixes.
like, my thing with Russia is I'm not trying to live in myself, because I'm like, when it comes to DJ sets, I'm a big fan of, like, I don't really like. I mean, I do like to keep it eclectic, but not in the way where I just want to squeeze in a bunch of genres in a, like, 1 hour set or 1.5 hour set and just muddle up the vibe completely. I like to, have it through, like, this feeling the same way. I want the crowd to have that same feeling throughout the set,
Sure.
rather, keep it going and drive it onwards, rather than, like, just switching up the vibe completely. But when
Yeah.
it comes to Russia, like you said, like, I'm speaking, I'm just putting out, like, stuff that I really enjoy listening to, stuff that I've
And
been like
talking
vibing
about
to
it.
and talking about it. Yeah, so when it comes to my radio shows, there's just a bunch of stuff, bunch of different vibes going on. It goes from like 115 BPM to 180
Sure.
in those 2 hours. But I would never do that in a live show.
Okay, in a mix or
Yeah.
a live show.
Yeah. Or like, even, if I'm doing a guest mix for somebody or something,
You're
then,
kind of like
then I
planning
stick
it
to those. Keep
unless
it one
you've had a
vibe
few
and keep the
Jaeger
party
shots
going.
and-
You never know.
Everything is different, man.
Maybe at
After the Jaeger
Wednesdays.
shots.
Have you played you played the last Wednesday, but we will not talk about that. Have you played any private parties or
No, not since
gatherings?
not since the lockdown started,
since the
man. Yeah, maybe some, like, for fun gatherings among friends and stuff, but nothing, no parties, no this thing.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
But things are slowly
You're playing a
reopening.
gig this week?
I
Or-
am, as a matter of fact, man.
So let's talk about that.
Lucky
How did
guy.
that come about?
Well, like, Sunil, shout out Film, like, just hit me up, and he's like, hey, we're like slowly, reopening the venue. So Sunil, for those of you who don't know, Sunil programs, two of the hottest venues in Delhi at the moment, Summer House and Oro. So and they've obviously been, kind of out of action for the past few months. So Sanil sort of got in touch with me, and he was basically like, hey, we're slowly like reopening the venue, and we're like trying out new things, and we're like trying to get back into some sort of normality, and he was like, do you want to come and play? And I was like, sure, why not?
You're doing a DJ set
I'm
or a
doing a
live
DJ
set?
set, yeah. But yes, but like they have, they're one of the few venues that are actually operating with proper like safety protocols and like new measures. Because I've seen a lot of parties happening in India right now where like literally, dude, no one fucking gives like a single fuck about like the
In terms of
virus
safety.
in terms of safety. Like I've seen videos from events like with hundreds of people like not wearing masks
Yeah,
or
no one
like
cares.
no social distancing and
It's
stuff. But
almost like no
but
one
Sanil, like
cares.
the only like reason why I was actually down to do this, because Sanil was like, we're capping the venue at 50 people max, and it's going to be like new sort of safety protocols in place, and like no mask, no dance kind of vibe. And it sounded interesting, and he was like, well, it's just a
That's on
small
this Thursday.
on this Saturday.
Oh, that's this
Yeah.
Saturday.
So yeah, it was just like he
That-
was
That's
like,
oral.
that's Oro, yeah. So he's like, it's just gonna be a small, intimate sort of vibe for friends and family, and why don't you come and like do
You're
a set?
taking your
And
parents and stuff?
yeah, but I'm taking my grandparents as well, bro. Why not?
His dad is a straight raver, bro.
No, no,
The
no,
tunes
man.
with the CDs we find in his dad's car are the
Oh my
best,
God.
man.
But honestly, they'd be down, man, if I invited them. But like, I don't think that's a wise move. Um,
Are you going to this gig?
No, I'm not
Probably
friends
not.
and family, clearly, bro. No,
um,
I'm taking it easy, man. I've been staying home as much as possible. I got fam at home. I don't want to contract anything. I don't even mind if I go out there, enjoy myself every now and then contract the virus. But I guess I got responsibilities to
yeah,
other people.
for me, I just like miss being behind the decks, man.
Me
Like,
too,
I
dude.
just
More than
like, I just
anything in the
miss like
world.
playing music, man. And like, honestly, it's like the one thing that makes me most happy. And I'm like, you know what? Like, even if it's for 50 people, like, why not just go and do a little thing and
For
Sure.
sure, 100%.
um,
I mean,
be
any opportunity
responsible
to
at
get,
the
I'd
same
take
time.
it.
Yeah, like
What'd you say?
I said any opportunity I get to get behind the decks, like he's saying right now, I take it, man. I missed gigging more than anything right now, dude. What a time
um,
pre-corona.
but it's cool, like more like slow, like honestly things are sort of slowly reopening, like
They
even
have
though
like everywhere else in the country,
even though the
stuff seems to be
pandemic is
popping
still
off.
peaking in India, like even though there's like cases are just going like nuts every day, like we're going honestly, it's like the cases are going worse, but like
It's the
social
fatigue,
distancing
bro.
measures are going like
Corona
declining,
fatigue, man.
you
Everyone
know
just sick of it sitting at home. They want to
so
get out, I
it's
guess.
cool. But like yeah, I've been getting inquiries like I might be doing like a thing on New Year's in Delhi. I'm playing like another like show in Goa, like they're touring Dixon from Inner Visions, that
I
big.
thought that got canceled
it
through
got it got
Anyway,
Sunburn.
canceled because of elections, and then they pushed it to Jan, so it's still happening. But
Sunburn is happening or a Dixon
no,
tour
so
is happening?
Sunburn is still happening,
Sunburn
man.
is
There's
not
a
happening. Sunburn is not
It is
happening. They
happening, man.
what I'll tell you what they so
Not the
Sunburn.
sunburn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not the festival. So Sunburn, basically, like the confusion here is like basically they opened up a venue
yeah.
called Sunburn Beach Club,
I
and
know about that.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure you know about that. And they're just like doing events there.
No, I
And
was just asking what's happening in
and
January.
well, so it's the
The
same
the
Dixon thing that's
okay,
happening in Jan. They
and
basically
you're
pushed
on
it
the
to
lineup.
Jan. Yeah.
Have they announced that?
They haven't announced it, so it's like low key. Well, I mean, they've pushed it to Jan.
Everyone
I can't.
tag.
Tag Dixon, box
Man,
out of fam.
tag Dixon
Please
from
don't tag
Innovision.
Podcast. Do not tag.
But yeah, like
Hashtag freedom dance.
so Jam from Milkman is curating a like stage for this Dixon thing, and I'm
Nice.
playing with the Milkman crew. Which should be fun.
That's
Should
in
be fun.
January.
That's in Jan, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna go play Symbol Festival in Jaisalmer as well, but like that
That's also happening now.
is happening, yeah. It's like Christmas time.
Okay.
Um
You got you got booked or you
Well,
were going to be?
no, like they did inquire, but I wasn't around at that point.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna be in Goa. Like the whole world is moving to Goa,
So
basically.
you're also moving to Goa.
No, I'm not moving to Goa. I'm very much still based out of Delhi. Well, I'm just going to like relax, man.
Cool.
Like spend a week and just chill on the beach and like
Got
hang
it.
out with some mates.
Yeah, but moving to these places is like to places is, I feel like never been easier almost now. Like, because now
That's what
everything is
everyone is
offline,
saying.
Everything is offline now. So
Everything is work from
sorry,
home.
everything is online now. Sorry, the other way around. So I guess, like people have found that freedom. Like even in the middle, I was working. I went to the hills for like 3 weeks, man. I just sat there and I was more productive than I ever am in Delhi.
As long
and-
as you have internet and
Yeah,
you're able
man.
to.
For sure, for a
communicate.
lot of us, like in the creative community, at least I feel like it's a better time than ever to experiment, go live somewhere else in India, settle up there for a bit. Because I feel like all your, like I said, offline duties are off, so you might as well.
Yeah,
Are
but
you telling me to move somewhere?
No, I'm thinking about it myself
yeah,
real
we're
hard. I think
looking
I'm
at you.
convincing myself slowly.
So play
I want to
back the
move to
episode
Manali
and be
and
like,
just
"Oh
sit
yeah,
there
you
and
said it. You should
yeah.
move."
but are you moving? Like, what's your plan?
I'm moving places. I'm not moving cities
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
I
Are you
think
are you not also like following the whole Goa bandwagon and
I'm,
jumping on the tour bus?
if I had a tour bus, I would jump on a tour bus, and
Yeah, I
then I
come
will
with
take
you.
all of us, and we can all drive there, like Delhi
That would
Sultanate
be
and
sick, man.
Base Foundation.
For
Sorrow
sure.
No,
did
We
because
should
that.
Red
just-
Bull
we
has a
should
tour
just
bus,
hop on
man.
his-
We should cop that tour
I
bus.
don't think we're Red Bull enough
No.
for that.
Monophonic might be.
Yeah, hit them up and let us know.
No, man. Actually, like Red Bull is also sort of like not very active in the music like
It's
thing.
cool.
Yeah, which
We
is
yeah, they can.
which is
They have their
but the tour bus is still popping, so we can always
You gotta make it happen.
we can all
not
if you
interested
ever
in
need
the
a
tour
ride,
bus.
man, let me know or let Red Bull know. Kenneth.
I never really dabbled with the. I mean, I did a few college shows maybe 10 years back as like a hip hop MC DJ.
Nice.
But since I've come back, I never really got into that touring circuit.
Yeah.
It was very specific and kind of its own thing, you know. I'm
Mhm.
not sure if you've played any of like college shows.
No, I haven't.
Because
No,
it's quite a big scene
it's a big scale
outside of,
thing. Yeah,
of what this bubble is.
For
You
sure.
know?
Really?
You get crowds of 10,000
massive
plus
crowds. Yeah.
at minimum, like any smallest
That's
kind of
crazy. Like here, where college shows.
No, just like
all
everywhere.
across India,
Yeah.
all across India. And that's
Ahmedabad,
kind of
like
how,
That's
IIT
dope,
and
dude.
stuff.
how nuclear also like blew up on the college circuit.
Oh,
They used to do a lot of the Sunburn college events, NH7 college events. And that kind of gave birth to a lot of the Indian sound EDM at that time to kind of get more local.
Yeah, it just
So
goes
you
to show that.
haven't played any.
No, I haven't. No. I feel like a lot of the sound at these college shows needs to have some like level of, popular culture in
Sure,
it.
sure.
Which is it's just more sort of accepted and
Yeah.
appreciated by the masses. And
I mean, they have one
Um,
festival a year. You don't expect them to come learn about music on that day.
exactly. Yeah, like
They
I don't
just
want
wanna
to
have a
like
good
I don't
time.
want to play for like 10,000 kids like throwing shoes at me. Like get off, man. Like what are you fucking playing? But you know what I
They'll
mean?
throw their books at you. It's not
Yeah.
sit down
Or their
vibes where they're
pens.
throwing shoes at the front. Like
Oh yeah, or books or whatever, man. But like, yeah, I think like I'm yet to experience a college that is into sort of
what you do.
alternative styles of music.
So in where we are right now is the agency Collab space. You guys have both been here
mhm,
Yeah.
a
on
bunch of
separate
times.
occasions.
Yep.
Yeah,
You've been
shows.
here to attend shows.
And I've done a few shows here as well, man. I did some stuff with Red Room and all also.
Okay, you
yeah.
played here.
Yeah.
You guys had some
Yeah, we've
sessions
had
here.
it. Yeah, Red Room's done a few like live streams and some sessions here as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was working with them for a bit. I helped them like curate and conceptualize their Red Room TV
Okay.
stuff.
Cool.
And yeah, so I mean I've done a lot of stuff at agency, and plus I've been here partying my ass off from time to time.
When
Like
they
you
used to do
mentioned outside,
events.
DJ Bone was wild. I mean, what an epic musician. And yeah, a few other things, bro. There was an epic Red Room showcase where he got like Chab and all these guys from Bombay, and that was a really fun night. Chab played
That
an
happened
awesome
here?
set. Shout out Chab. Yeah, that happened here.
Nice.
Yeah, it's always been a good time, man.
Cool.
It's been
And
cool. Yeah.
You kind of are now potentially trying to do something here. As it like maybe
Yeah. Like honestly.
Adishri mentioned that you're interested in using the space somehow.
Well, I think it's just sort of like a collaboration of the space with creative people in the city, and they are like very keen to open up their space to like just sort of artists and musicians to come and like hang out and like use the space in cool ways. And honestly, it's a really nice space. For those of you who haven't been here, like agency is actually a really nice space
Sure.
in Delhi, in Chhatarpur. And like I remember I did like a Sin City live stream for Box Out as well, like I think a year ago or something, and that was kind of cool.
Feel that was like 2
Um,
years ago.
2 years ago or something.
Feels like so long ago.
And I've played
You
some
did a
really
live set for that
fun,
one.
yeah, played some fun nights here. Like I did this show with Martin Stimming here as well, which is kind of cool. Um, but basically, so I think my plan here, um, with sort of using the space is, like I've been speaking to, you know, Richa and Akshada, who both work at agency, and we've been talking about like how we sort of want to, get like things going back here at agency. So my plan at the moment is I want to do like a series of music production workshops, free of cost, and like teach people synthesis and production, and just sort of share my knowledge with, curious producers out in the city that want to come down and like, just like, you know, pick my brains, and I'll be happy to, share some of my experience with them.
I thought
And
that was interesting because we could even potentially like film and stream those workshops for
yeah,
people who can
exactly,
attend at
that
the.
would be fun. That was also like a part of the plan, just to sort of host like a series of workshops basically.
That's a great idea.
And I feel like I've been chatting with a lot of like musicians that are currently based in Delhi, and everyone seems super open to, this idea.
I feel like that's what needs to happen in spaces like this and at times like these.
Right, yeah.
If you have a skill and you're able to kind of help people out who might not potentially are yet convinced to go to school, for example,
Hmm.
No,
full
sure.
time for music, this could be a good way to.
More so at times like this,
Yeah.
where there's, opportunities like this are like completely inaccessible.
Yeah, and
It's
spaces.
and spaces as well, and also like just to sort of, inspire like, young passionate musicians that are like down to, explore this world, but don't have the opportunity to do so right now. So um that's the plan.
Well,
Yeah,
we look forward to it, and hopefully we'll
that's
be still here
of course, man.
broadcasting, doing some other bits of programming.
Hmm.
And yeah, before we sign out, we
Are
want to
we
ask
what?
you.
Are we done? Has it been an hour? No
Well, it
way.
doesn't have to be an hour,
I see.
but
Okay, sick. You're
it's
just bored of us, man.
I'm not.
No, I'm
No, it's
joking.
not that.
I'm
Uh,
good.
any podcast or books that you guys have been reading or listening to that are something to recommend to people?
Joe Rogan.
Is that what you've been? Have you guys
I honestly, I do listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, man. Like, no
during
doubt.
the pandemic or
Well,
before?
pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, through
So that
pandemic.
didn't change. Like the pandemic didn't make you discover new things, or have? I mean, you're recommending that, but
Well,
anything else new that,
Uh, I mean, I'm
or
not
you
a
like that? That's,
no, no. I mean, that's good. That's great. But Joe Rogan's great, man. I don't really read too much. I'm more
Sure.
of a visual arts kind of guy. I like watching my films and my TV shows. So I
Nice.
give a couple of recommendations in that space. But podcast wise, yeah, this
Even
is when the
TV
Joe.
shows or
Sure, bro. TV shows, there's a lot of
everybody's
good
watched
stuff,
everything
man.
on
literally,
Netflix,
man, it's all
Prime,
done
or
with.
so
Yeah,
For sure, for sure. There's a
yeah.
lot of good stuff out. Like Fargo on Amazon Prime is incredible. Season after season is class act, man. The cinematography, the editing, everything, the vibe of that show is just so great. And there's a new epic Ethan Hawke one out, which is like really like I don't even know which network it's on, man.
it's a show.
Yeah, it's a TV show called The Good Lord Bird, and yeah, it's just about a bunch of like Christian missionaries. I mean, like missionary soldiers almost who are pre-civil war in the states, running around killing slave owners,
Okay,
and it's amazing, man. Like Ethan Hawke's
you've seen
performance
the
is
trailer or
tremendous.
you
No, I've
watched
seen
it?
the
You've
show. I've
already.
seen the show.
Okay, got it.
Class, really good, really well made, beautiful cinematography again, and yeah. Those are my two top recommendations at the moment, I guess, over the quarantine that I really liked. Otherwise, I've been watching a lot of like a lot of sitcoms for the first time in my life. I'm not a sitcom guy, man. I like to sit down and just consume a lot of good content, most of the
Sure,
time.
sure.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it's easy times, sometimes now, like just take a break, I started like watching stuff like The Office for the first time in my life.
A lot of
Shout
people
out
say
The
you need
Office.
to watch The
I
Office.
started playing a lot of games thanks to this guy,
Ooh.
man.
Dude,
like
how could I
like
forget?
this dude, like
Shout out Nintendo.
this dude got me onto
The love of my
the
life.
Nintendo Switch, and like I literally like he convinced me into like getting one, and I got one, and I was like, well,
You
let's
guys
give it a
play
shot.
virtually together or
Well,
something?
sometimes we play
Sometimes
Mario Kart
Kart,
online.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
But there's a
Um,
lot of good single player experiences that you can have, and for sure, man, I owe a lot of my sanity in this quarantine to the Nintendo Switch, man. I spent
Yeah,
like
so,
over 800 hours probably in the last like 8 months on that thing. It's insane, man.
That's great.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch. We're gonna check it out. Well, thank you guys for coming out here.
No,
Yeah,
thank you
no
for,
problem at all,
for
man.
having
Thanks for
us,
having
man.
us,
It was
dude.
it was a nice chat. Nice,
Make
Yeah, it's
sure-
good to catch
nice seeing you always, as always, Mo.
If
And
you're in Delhi,
And
Sorrow.
Sorrow,
And
shout out
Sorrow.
Sorrow behind the scenes.
shout out Sorrow behind Sorrow is the Jamie for
Sorrow, come
Boxart
into the
FM.
frame, man. Say what's up for a
Um,
second.
Sorrow is Sorrow. I don't know who the fuck Jamie is, but who's Jamie?
Jamie, you
Joe
know,
Rogan,
it's
bro.
it's a Joe Rogan
Oh,
inside
I
joke.
know
He's
about
Joe Rogan
Rogan.
Sorrow. He's Joe Rogan Sorrow, basically.
Oh,
Um,
my. I
but-
definitely do not watch enough Joe Rogan.
But
to
every
get that.
podcast series has a man like Sorrow like making it happen.
Making
you know?
it happen.
So shout out Sorrow, man.
Always, bro.
Shout out Sorrow. We can even listen to his EP. Just
That would
after
be
this.
sick.
Yeah, Demon Child,
We're
man.
gonna have a
Let's
forced
check it out.
listening session. right
Demon
now.
Child, man.
That'll be wicked.
Thank you guys, and yeah, we'll speak soon.
Yeah,
Nice
see you
one.
guys.
ਪਿੱਛੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਬੱਚੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਜਾਏ ਨਿਆਈਆਂ ਵੇਖ ਲੈਣਗੇ ਦਾਦੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਪਾਟੀਆਂ ਬਿਆਈਆਂ ਵੇਖ ਲੈਣਗੇ ਔਖੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਕਮਾਈਆਂ ਵੇਖ ਲੈਣਗੇ ਮਾਣ ਲੈਣ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਬੋੜਾਂ ਪਿੱਪਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਛਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੁੜ ਜਾ ਬੀਬਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਫੇਰ ਕੀ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਪਿੱਛੋਂ ਚੱਲ ਦੀਵਾਰ ਸਰਹੰਦ ਦੀ ਤੂੰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਈ ਜੇ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਨੀਹਾਂ 'ਚ ਚਣਾਈ